I want you to take a look as tonight history has been made and we all watched it happen. This comes as the Artemis II crew successfully splashed down on the Pacific Ocean today. And it felt like we've all been on that 10-day journey. As I've seen on social media, a lot of people just watching, listening in to those live recaps that they've given us. Just a very exciting thing that we got to witness. Now, we will have more about their exciting 10-day journey in just a few minutes. But first, we begin with breaking news. An 80-year-old woman was stabbed to death at an apartment complex yesterday. And tonight, police tell us the suspect is her son. Thank you so much for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Fox 61's Tim Lateau spoke with neighbors and shares what we've learned tonight about the investigation.
I spoke with police on the phone who confirmed that the son is accused of stabbing his 80-year-old mother in her bed. The son is now facing murder and drug charges.
Few jobs, but plenty of drugs, so that's the main problem.
Neighbors are shocked a man is accused of killing his mother, but aren't surprised drugs could be involved. Police say they were dispatched for a medical call Thursday afternoon, but instead found 80-year-old Analysia Sepulveda in her bed with multiple stab wounds. She later died. Police say her son, 48-year-old Noel Sepulveda, was found on the floor and appeared to be under the influence of narcotic drugs. He's being held on a $2.5 million bond and faces murder and drug charges. What was he like, Noel? What was he like?
Oh my God. No good. No good, that one.
Neighbors say the mother and son moved to Grace House on Abbott Terrace within the last couple of months. It's a low-income, HUD-funded apartment building. One neighbor says it's too crowded and there's too many police visits. Too many people live in the area?
Yeah, too many people live here. Too many people.
Police weren't on scene Friday evening, but were patrolling the area in small groups of squad cars. Neighbors describe the area in general as quiet and say this situation is traumatic.
Very quiet sometimes. There really isn't much going on.
And if you know anything about this case, police say they are still looking for more information and will continue to investigate over the weekend. Police say to expect another update in the case on Monday. In Waterbury, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
And also breaking news now out of New Haven. Police are investigating a shooting they say happened near Brewery Square. We know one person was hurt, but their injuries are not life-threatening. When our crews arrived, they saw multiple police cars. Right now, we are working to get more information and we'll update you as soon as we learn any more.
Well, it certainly was a beautiful day today, and tomorrow we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be about 10 degrees cooler. Lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and dry. And for your Sunday, morning sun, afternoon clouds, but another dry day. So basically a dry, cool, pleasant weekend. It will be breezy tomorrow. There's an elevated fire risk. I'll talk about that later in the newscast. 51 in Winsted to 50 Bristol, 49 Cheshire. And basically temperatures are going to go down into the upper 30s and 40s, I should say. Southerly flow going on, and it's trying to get some showers developing. There is a cold front just off to our north and west. The showers are going to move in and fall apart, not really give us too much rain. Put this into motion. You see about 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we clear out by the morning, and temperatures will be breezy and cool again up near 60. Chilly evening coming up. I'll detail your Sunday a little more closely. We'll talk about the elevated fire risk, why, and what you can expect next week. Taste the summer. Annette?
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Sam. Well, the Artemis II crew is now back on Earth after splashing into the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of Southern California. And of course, thousands gathered in San Diego to witness this historic moment. Maribel Gonzalez is at the San Diego Air and Space Museum with details on the journey.
We're at 5,000 feet.
A historic moment watched around the world. The 4 astronauts aboard Artemis II returning home to Earth.
A new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete.
The Orion capsule landing off the coast of San Diego Friday evening. But to get to this moment, the crew endured a high-stakes journey, traveling more than 30 times the speed of sound at temperatures between 4,000 and 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
The air molecules outside the capsule will be so hot they will split apart, creating what we call plasma.
This marks the end of a 10-day journey where the crew traveled to the far side of the moon, reaching deeper into space than any human has traveled before and capturing stunning images of the moon's surface.
And ultimately, we're building toward a moon base to establish a sustained presence on the lunar surface.
The crew will undergo a series of medical exams, and NASA says their bodies will go through a transition after being in space.
Maybe a little bit of wobbly legs for the first 3 to 4 hours after landing, but it's not the equivalent of, say, a long duration International Space Station flight in terms of the rigors on the body.
Families of some of the crew members say they couldn't be more proud of this moment.
It makes me really, really, really proud of the fact that I know that there are probably millions and millions of young people around the country and around the world that will look at him and point to him and look at their mom and dad and say, I can do that.
In San Diego, I'm Mary Bell Gonzalez reporting.
Tonight, there's a new wrinkle in the future of the Connecticut Sun. It comes as Connecticut senators and other leaders introduced what's now called the Home Team Act. It's aimed at preventing sports team owners from moving franchises without giving local groups a chance to buy them. Fox 61's Stephen Reels has more on the bill and what fans think about it.
Yeah, sports fans here in Connecticut have had to watch their home teams leave the state over and over again. And now as the Bridgeport Islanders and the Connecticut Sun prepare to leave, lawmakers say this bill gives fans another chance to keep their teams in their communities.
I'm wondering, how can we stop this from happening?
For families like Roxana Luchkins, the love of Connecticut sports spans generations. From her mother, now to her son. And having already seen the Whalers depart her home state, she does not want the same thing to happen to the Connecticut Sun. You think it's worth to try and keep sports teams in Connecticut?
Absolutely. There's so much you learn from sports, and I think it's critical.
The basketball team's sale to Houston also drew criticism from state and federal leaders, including Senator Richard Blumenthal, who said this week to the Department of Justice, the WNBA, quote, abused its monopolistic control over professional women's basketball to do so, and seemingly violated federal antitrust laws. Blumenthal has been critical of the sale since the news first broke last year, despite interest in keeping the team in the state.
I will seek action from the Department of Justice.
Blumenthal, along with Senator Chris Murphy, have joined other federal lawmakers to write the Home Team Act, which, if passed, would do three big things. Require franchise owners to give a year heads up before a potential move, give communities the chance to purchase the team at a fair price, and have a $30,000 a day penalty for owners who don't follow the law. But according to Murphy, the bill would not require anyone to purchase the team, nor stop a move if there is not a fair and reasonable price. Fox 61 has reached out to the Connecticut Sun and the WNBA for a comment on this. They have not responded at this time. Meanwhile, people like Casey Cutler feel this could be a potential option to keep the sports community alive in the state.
I think we should be celebrating basketball, and now feel like we're doing the opposite. I mean, keeping them here is what we want, so I think if it benefits in that way, then I think it's beneficial.
I'm very proud of the place that I grew up in, and I think it's a good idea.
At the moment, it's unclear if this bill would only apply to major sports teams like the Connecticut Sun or their minor affiliates like the Bridgeport Islanders or the Hartford Wolfpack as well. In Hartford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
Thank you, Stephen. Also developing tonight, the Winsted Fire Department responded to a building collapse on Main Street. Take a look. Firefighters said when they got to the scene, the upper brick veneer from two storefronts partially collapsed onto the sidewalk and roadway. The good news is no one was hurt. A building inspector from Torrington checked the building while Winsted crews helped remove debris and put up temporary fencing. Officers say the owner is already working with their insurance company to get things fixed. And take a look at this. Police responded to a crash on the intersection of Route 205 and North Chestnut Street. A CTDOT dump truck and a four-door sedan crashed earlier today. Police say both drivers were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Tonight, Plainfield police are still investigating that crash. Well, tonight we have a major update in a Fairfield murder case that claimed the life of a 15-year-old back in 2022. Tonight, 4 years later, police say they finally made an arrest. They say the suspect was just 16 when he fired a gun in a crowded party. This happened at a banquet hall at the Calvin United Church of Christ. Fairfield police say that day, 15-year-old Zion Burton was shot one time in the chest. Police did not release the name of the teen arrested because of his age. They did say he has been charged with murder, assault, and carrying a pistol without a permit.
It's our understanding that this person, because of the crime committed, will be charged as an adult. When that occurs is up to the judicial process. Every investigation has leads that continue to develop as the investigation goes. And since this date, we have not stopped investigating. So there's not one particular instance that occurred. It's an ongoing investigation, a very detailed, thorough investigation from that point until today in the arrest.
And at this time, Fairfield police say they are not releasing whether or not those two teens knew each other. Well, over in East Hartford, police are currently investigating a stabbing. Police say an Uber driver told them he stabbed one of his passengers in self-defense earlier this morning. Well, tonight he's now facing charges. Hurton Joseph is charged with assault and tampering with evidence. Police say that stabbing happened near Prestige Park and School Street in East Hartford. We're told the victim was hospitalized with serious wounds to his upper chest and back. Investigators haven't released many details, including what led up to that stabbing.